Hi, guys, and welcome to the Kai's Corner podcast. I am your host, Kai Bologna, and welcome if you are new to this. Welcome back if you have been here before. This is just a really fun sit down episode where I figured we would talk about connection into community. For me, connection has really just gone into such an amazing place for me this year. Like this last year, especially in the summers when I get out, just because I live in Massachusetts and it's not too nice in the winter. But this last summer for me was really about music and discovering that community and really realizing the importance of having a community and having a hobby that put me in a space with a lot of people is one of my favorites, because I think it really forces you to make friends and it really forces you to talk to people around you. And I think that's something that's exceptionally great. I'm really grateful because, I go to a lot of music festivals where like the big thing is that we are kind to each other and that we take care of each other and we are going to be respectful. And like, there's just so much respect I have for the community, especially like the rave community. And like, you know what I mean? Music as a whole, for me, is one of my biggest outlets where it's just this giant community of people. You know, you walk in and if anything, you guys have one thing in common, and that is you're there for the music, and that gives you a start. And honestly, that literally goes for anything. Like if you like something, 9 times out of 10, you can find a community in those things. Like that just kind of is how it is. I think the reality is we as people really like to do things. And in those things, we have that opportunity for connection. I am 21 years old, and for a really long time in my life, I really struggled with connection and what exactly that meant. For a really long time, I didn't even really know what connection was. I didn't know what that meant. And it's like now as an adult, I'm really grateful because I've had so many experiences where my relationship with every single person I meet is completely different. I have some people that I've met through work and have become great friends for me. I have some people that I've met at festivals and we're chill. We talk every once a month or you know what I mean? And it's I have a different relationship with every single person in my life. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just is what it is. And I think it's really important that if it's someone you really want to spend a lot of time with, we have to make that effort from both sides of the spectrum. But it's I am so grateful for that. I was also raised in a household. I talk about my parents a lot, and for me, that's a big part of my experience as a person is kind of how I was brought up, because I didn't really have anyone else in my life to teach me these things. And I was brought up in a home where my parents don't really have friends. They don't go out. They don't drink. They don't it's a very sober home. It is very, you work, you come home, you make dinner, you go to bed. And it's it's just very boring. I think my family, my entire life has tried so hard to be normal that they've almost debilitated the person that is inside, which is so sad. It's so sad to think about, especially I think about the kind of person my father was a long time ago, and it's I miss that person, but I will never get that person back. And, it just is what it is. Everything is temporary, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And I think that's something that's almost really sad, but it's almost undeniable. It's extremely undeniable. I will not be on this earth forever, but also, the earth hasn't existed in the time that I've been here. You know what I mean? That would be insatiable. That just wouldn't make sense, and it wouldn't be fair. Because it's not, the reality is it is what it is, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think I also, for a really long time, put a lot of expectations on these connections that I would make with people. And I kind of touched about this on my relationships episode, which was like an episode or two ago now. And in that episode, we really talked about like how we are putting on expectations on partners, and like that's not fair to anyone else. And same goes for platonic relationships or just kind of any connections you're making. It's like it's unfair to you to put expectations on yourself, and it is unfair to them to put expectations on them, because it's like, okay, what are we going to make this person up to be whoever we want to be in our head, but then they're not that person, and then we're disappointed in them because they weren't this person, that they weren't even acting like they were, we were just projecting that onto them. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense. And in that case, you're taking your problems and you're putting that on somebody else, and that's not fair. It's not fair to them, you know? And it's not cool. Let's not do that. I'm like so grateful because I am like really fortunate to be in this part of my life right now where like making connections are really easy for me. But that has taken so much time and so much work. And like, I don't really know how to like go about kind of talking about what that looks like for me. I think for me, like, it really took a lot of trial and error of trying to connect with people and being really good at it and being really bad at it. Like, you know what I mean? There's no right or wrong. It's kind of just trial and error. And the only way we will get better at things is through being consistent and constantly, slowly but surely getting there, you know? Like, again, in my relationships video, I was just talking about how I want to talk to people in a more dating fashion. Like, I want to be, you know what I mean? I'm trying to court these people up, you know? Like, I want to go up to someone and say, hey, I think you have the most beautiful eyes. I would love to take you to dinner. And they say, yes, no, maybe so. You know what I mean? But it's like, I want to get good at that because that's something I really struggle with. And it's something I know I can get better at. And it's something I can get better at. It just takes practice. And it takes me doing it over and over and over again and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work and seeing who I like. Also seeing who I like and like using this as my advantage, because it's like, you know, you're only 21 once, you know? I will never get this back. And I say this a lot too, like, I will never be at this age, at this state in my life ever again. Like, you know, I will never get that back. And I don't think that's a bad thing because everything is temporary. And I am so grateful for everything that like I've experienced up until now. And you know, I think sometimes I'm a little too hard on myself. And I think sometimes I run my life a little too seriously. And, you know, this year for me, I'd like to have a lot more fun. And I'd like to enjoy things. And I'd like to let myself enjoy things. I think that's really important. And I think I'm going into this new period of my life where, you know, things are really similar. But I think my life is going to change a lot. And I'm really excited for that. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited to see what my future holds. Like, even within the next week, I'm going on vacation. I've never taken a 10-day vacation ever in my life. I've never been on a plane, not since I was 5, so that basically doesn't count. And, like, I am so excited to be in the sunshine and the warm weather. And I'm just really excited to see where my life takes me. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me. You know, life is really short, and I think it's really important that we put ourselves out there. And I think, personally, that's the key to connection. Once we start being our true selves and putting ourselves out there, it's mirrored energy, baby. Once you put yourself out there, that's exactly what you're going to get back, is people are going to be like, oh, shit. And also, here's the thing. Once you put yourself out there and you're like the real you, people will either love that or they will hate it. But then it is at least up for them to decide, and they can come to you. I've had moments where I've never thought I looked crazier, or I've never thought I was crazier. And like, I've had people come up to me and be like, I think you're so cool. And it's like, I love that, because in those moments, I am just being me. I am being my true, authentic self. And that is all anyone could ever ask of you. You know, I for me this year want to be the best version and most authentic version of myself. I'm sick and tired of doing things that I don't want to do for other people. You know what I mean? And I think that comes with a lot of give and take, because I think once we now have a relationship with somebody, it's a lot of give and take in that relationship. And like, we have to be kind to each other. And like, I think that's really important. But it's also like, we live in a world that's just so interesting. And I think, especially as Gen Z and especially as that community, like, I get really scared for people my age, and especially the Gen Zs that are a little bit younger. I'm almost scared because I think technology has done a lot for us, and I think it's brought a lot to the table. I think it's kind of desensitized us in a lot of ways, and I think it's made people not want to talk to each other. I went to this Fleetwood Mac cover band called the Seven Wonders. They were great. And there was like this group of kids that were like my age, and I was going crazy and I was being rowdy, and they were all just like standing there all next to me. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. If I'm going to go somewhere, I am going to have fun, because for me, that's what's really important. And like, life is short. Let's enjoy it. You know, that's what's important. Is I don't know about you guys, but at least if I go out tomorrow, I want to have like a great, fulfilled life, and I want to feel good, you know? And like, I can't ensure anything. I don't know that I'm going to have a long life. I don't know any of these things. I can control the controllables, and the controllables are me, you know? And like, for me, it's like, I want to be good. I want to be great. And like, that takes a lot of growing and a lot of adapting. And it's like, I want to meet new people. I love people. People are so cool. And every person you meet is going to have like a different way of life and a different story. And that's the fun part. That's the best part. So just remember, guys, that connection is the essence of being a human. And humans need human connection. It's literally what we live and breathe and thrive on. Also, if you're sad, go outside. It's starting to get sunny. Go outside right now. Go yap somebody up. Talk to a bird. Honestly, sometimes I'll be really sad, and I'll make my coffee in the morning, and I'll go stand on the porch, and I'll just talk to the birds. And honestly, that is so fun for me. I love you all so much. We are going to cut this episode a little short today, as we are vacation prepping, and it is coming quick. I love you all so much. Don't forget to check out the channel if you haven't already. Kai Bologna is my normal channel. And then this video form is on Kai's Corner podcast on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.